Goku is the hope of the universe, the answer to all living things that cry out for peace, the protector of the innocent, but all that becomes true with an extended amount of time. But what would have happened if Goku was wished to Namek while his baby self was traveling through the cosmos? What if the Namekians of planet Namek wish for a Namekian savior or a Namekian warrior that would protect them forever? Someone that has the heart of a warrior but truly is part Namekian. Well, it all starts on planet Namek, and it all starts with a simple wish to Porunga, and a simple wish that would go and ring out through the cosmos. The elders would wish for a protector and a possible savior, and this would reach a young child, giving him a connection with the Namekian people, but also making him half Namekian. His pod would soon land on planet Namek, but when this pod would land, the Namekians know that this must be their savior / protector. As they look into the pod, they pull Goku out of it, and the child seems very calm, and his aura gives off a sense of being a Namekian, but also seems to be a hybrid of some sorts. Now this is the young child that was wished for. This was the young child that was brought exactly to where they needed it to be, and exactly to the place of their home being that of Namek. After some time would pass and kind of the Namekians figuring out what to do with the child, he would eventually be brought to Grand Elder Guru, and he tells Nail immediately that he must train this child. He must look after him and make sure that everything goes perfectly. This child seems to be half another warrior race, but also seems to be half Namekian. Nail would question this because he doesn't really look that Namekian to him. Not at all, actually. Looks just different. Kind of looks like some humanoid race from a different place. Maybe something like a Saiyan. In which Grand Elder Guru would confirm this, that he is a Saiyan, but he is half Namekian. Even though he may not don the green skin and may not don exactly how they look, he is part of them, and he is one of them. Nail would eventually agree, knowing that this child is supposed to be the future of not only this planet, but also the Namekian race. So as they would begin to train, and as Goku learns more and more about their planet, it seems that his power would continue to rise, and it would rise extremely rapidly. Years would pass on for Goku, with training and learning techniques from the Namekian people. It would be fruitful, and that would be very, very, very minor saying, because this training isn't just fruitful. He's training with warrior Namekians all over the planet. Yes, they're not extremely powerful, maybe only a power level of 2000, but of course Nail being the strongest of them all at this current moment. But being that he has hybrid potential and is training with beings that are slightly stronger than him, well, soon to not be stronger than him, his power would grow. His Namekian techniques would continue on as well, and his hunger wouldn't even be anywhere near as bad, especially because he's half Namekian. His Namekian side would allow him to survive on solely water, which would also allow him to kind of train a lot more than he would ever be able to train anywhere else. But now, with all that said, and as he's coming to age, becoming a man, the main threat would eventually arrive. That main threat would even claim that they were the brother of this so-called Namekian savior. A pod would crash and land on Namek one day, and Goku would go and meet it. Soon, he would speak with this unknown person. Goku would learn of his true name being that of Kakarot, and obviously Goku wouldn't be his Namekian name, but let's just say this would be the simpler way of putting it. Goku would also learn that this person is a part of a race called the Saiyans, but that he also is his brother. Goku would refuse to believe this, and Raditz would introduce himself and tell him that he needs to cooperate. He needs to exterminate this planet, and that they will go on and join forces with his other two combatants. And Goku would refuse to help his so-called brother and would tell him that he must leave because, well, threats are no good here, and if that's all he plans on saying, that he needs to leave now or be defeated. Raditz would refuse, and when he tries to attack Goku, in one fell swoop, Goku would knock him out cold. But one thing would be disturbing. One thing. It seems that Goku can hear two other Saiyans speaking about Raditz, saying that he must be dead, and that he was useless, a useless subordinate anyways, but it seems that his brother is extremely strong. They did see a little spike, or quite a bit spike, in Raditz's scouter, thinking that it was a temporary malfunction, but I mean, even if it wasn't fully a malfunction, he's definitely stronger than Raditz quite a bit. And they begin to speak more and more, and eventually the scouter would turn off, or at least seems to kind of shorten out. And as Goku would turn around to speak with Nail, well, Raditz would actually wake up, trying to blast Goku, screaming at his brother, screaming the name of Kakarot, but Nail would immediately retaliate, and he would be forced to putting the Saiyan down. Nail would apologize, saying that he didn't want to necessarily kill the Saiyan, but Goku even says himself that he understands that keeping peace for Namek is very important, and he won't hesitate to kill if need be. He knows that Namekians don't necessarily want to kill. They are a peaceful race of people, but at the same time, sometimes what must be done must be done. Nail, hearing this, actually begins to think that maybe this is why he's truly going to be the Namekian savior. Goku, or whatever they would call him based on a Namekian name, is someone that is a true warrior in the fashion of being part Saiyan, knowing when to kill, knowing when it's needed. The Namekian side of him is soft, calm, and is able to think things decisively, and the combination of both of those things allow for a lethal duo. But even with that said, Nail tells him that there might be more to come, especially with the two Saiyans, so they must prepare. They don't know how strong they're going to be, so they need to make sure that they are strong enough to make sure that they can put them down if need be. Eventually they would hear the words of Grand Elder Guru, and he would more or less call him to himself once again, telling him to come to where he resides. And when he would arrive, Grand Elder Guru would tell him about a couple things. For one, Guru would learn of the Saiyans, about what's going to happen and what's going to occur, but he would also decide that it's finally time for him to awaken the power of Goku. And Goku, being that he is part Saiyan and part Namekian, being a hybrid but also having the Namekian side, his power would rise drastically. Not only because, like I said, he's Namekian, but he is a hybrid, so his strength would accelerate massively. And having a time span before the Saiyans, this would even allow him to train with Nail, train with the other Namekians, so that they could get stronger. He knows, though, that Grand Elder Guru's power and his lifespan is slowly but surely chipping away at itself, and soon they're probably going to have to find a new guardian of this planet, a new person to be the Grand Elder, but for now, they need to worry about what is at hand and what is at stake. Of course, Nail will be surprised at the same time of how strong they're growing throughout this time, about how strong this person is, this Namekian savior, this person that is supposedly half Saiyan, half Namekian. Even though they did wish for this, it seems like his awakening, his potential unlocked, makes him the best of the warriors to even the Dragon Clan, giving him a healing ability, but also the abilities to fight just like the warrior type of clan is. It seems like everything is awakening for Goku, and soon his training would be more and more fruitful, and soon the two Saiyans would arrive. The goal, of course, was to prepare, and about a year later, Vegeta and Nappa would arrive on planet Namek. Goku, Nail, and some other warrior Namekians would confront them, And Nail would remark that the big guy isn't even stronger than the other warrior Namekians, and the short one may be stronger than most of the other Namekians there, but he wouldn't stand a chance against Goku. They would warn the Saiyans to leave now. But before anything could be done, Nappa tries to actually kill one of the other Namekian warriors and is immediately killed on the spot by weaker Namekians. And Nail would stand there and shake his head. Vegeta would see the power that is being betrayed, the insane power, and he would immediately think that if those lower class warrior Namekians are this strong, well, how strong is these two right here? So he tries to create an artificial moon, throwing it into the sky, but before he could even look into the sky and watch it, Nail would jump over and tear off his tail. He would remark to Vegeta that he knows the power of that tail. I mean, how would he not? Especially with the knowledge of Grand Elder Guru and also the knowledge in the book of the Namekian legends. Vegeta would scream in pain, and Nail would say one last time that he needs to leave now, but Vegeta's pride would overcome him, and he tries to cheap shot Nail, and Nail would disintegrate him entirely. The Saiyans are now dead. All of them are dead and gone, but with the death of the Saiyans, Namek will soon get some attention from someone far stronger than Vegeta or Nappa, as life would go on as normal, training, learning from the Namekian Book of Legend, helping around the planet. Goku would do it all, but before you know it, the tyrant that they have been hearing about finally arrives. Ship after ship would cloud the skies, and all of these ships would begin to show, and Frieza and many other soldiers would begin to siege the planet. Frieza would watch in his little tiny kind of ship as all of these soldiers would bombard the planet, but soon those soldiers would be wiped out. Even soldiers or lackeys like Dodoria, like Zarbon, would be eliminated instantly, or at least knocked out cold and completely put out of commission. Frieza would even send the Ginyu Force, and the Ginyu Force themselves wouldn't even be enough for Nail. Nail would take them on, but with the knowledge that Goku maintains as a Namekian, reading through the Namekian book the Namekian Book of Legend and many other things, they are able to avoid Ginyu's body switch technique. And even if Ginyu were to use it, he wouldn't use it on Goku. He would have no idea Goku is as strong as he is, because he's not fighting yet. Goku would watch all of this as it's going down, and of course, Ginyu and his little force would lose as well. They would all be out cold, out of commission, unable to move, and now it was only one person. One person. Frieza. Frieza would stand there and tell them all that they really put a dent in his army, that they really, really messed up. He would transform into his second form, and Goku would step forward, telling Nail to back up and to not worry about him. He would begin to fight Frieza, as it seems like they're even, but Nail knows that Goku is holding back, even quite a bit. Maybe it's his Saiyan side wanting and yearning for a proper fight, as they clash more and more, and as Goku begins to inflict more and more damage, Frieza would crank it up to his third form, but even his third form would get speed blitzed by Goku. Goku would sweep his legs, putting an elbow in his chest as he sends Frieza spiraling to the ground, and the damage is becoming very obvious. Frieza realizes that this so-called warrior, this person, he is part Saiyan, and he is something else. He is not just some Saiyan, not some random Saiyan warrior that is kind of legend. There's no way he would be a Super Saiyan, right? Frieza would laugh at himself as he tells Goku, the Saiyan slash more or less Namekian that stands in front of him that he is no Super Saiyan, that he is no powerful being. But Goku would remark that he's right. He is no Super Saiyan. He isn't. But to him, he is a Super Namekian. Goku would smirk as he powers up with Frieza, and Frieza would power up to his final form 50%, and Goku would realize that Frieza is strong. So strong that he may not be able to beat him. He begins to clash with Frieza, and Frieza it would be obvious that the gap between them isn't crazy wide, but Frieza seems to still have reserves. Goku is fighting at his max output, and it seems as if, well, he can't win, that he's falling behind, he's taking damage, his body more durable, of course, and this does help with him growing at insane speeds. When he gets really injured, he can heal up and he can grow in power immensely, but this is not that situation. That takes stamina. Goku's not going to have it when he's trying to fight from behind. He's falling behind against a Frieza at 50%, and it's obvious that they're going to have to somehow figure out a way to kind of change the tides. And of course, Nail steps in as well to fight, and Nail is pretty strong himself, but he's no match for a Frieza at this level, not even close. But it seems that he's actually fighting pretty well. Not on the level of Goku by any means, but having two of them, it seems to be going great. But then Goku turns to his left slightly to see that 3, no, maybe even 4 of the other warrior Namekians are no longer there. He realizes they are fused within Nail. This is the Super Namekian, pure Namekian that Goku expected out of Nail, and he had to fuse with 4 other warrior Namekians to get there. And it seems like that extra training that the warrior Namekians and also Nail himself did allowed him to actually kind of fight near or close to on par with Goku and also against Frieza. They begin to clash more and more, and it seems like Frieza is actually losing ground. And the main reason for this is because Frieza is only working at 50%, and with perfect coordination, he's taking damage now. But eventually, Frieza would gain a little bit of area, a little bit of room, and he would do the unthinkable. He would power up to 100%. Goku would see this, and he would watch as a blast would go soaring through the chest of Nail, and it would splatter blood everywhere. Goku would fly over toward Nail as Frieza mocks him, laughing at him, saying that he's just like the other Saiyans. He's just like all of them, and guess what? He'll be in the grave with them very soon. Nail would about to be healed by, or he's about to be healed by Goku, but Nail would shake his head, and he would tell Goku to do it. And of course, Goku would shake his head. No, this is no. Why would he do this? Why would he do that? They could heal him, but of course, he doesn't know if Goku could even win this fight. Can he truly win the fight? And Goku refuses. As he watches Nail kind of suffer, he heals him, taking away some of his own energy, and Nail would grab him by the shoulder and tell him that he needs to let them fuse. But Goku would shake his head, saying that it might not even work. He's only part Namekian, remember? Goku would refuse this, but Nail would grab his hand as he places it on his own chest, and he tells him that if it doesn't work, well, then they'll go out fighting and possibly die together. Or if it does, he'll fuse into the Namekian savior. In which Goku looks at him and shakes his head, but soon Nail begins to power up and Goku can feel it. The fusion is working. The power of Nail, including other Namekians, would surge into Goku, and Goku, with his hybrid potential, would feel his power spike so drastically that he could feel something else as well emerging it seems like from the ashes, as his hair would grow higher, and as yellow aura would spark around him. As this yellow aura would spark around him, he would roar, and it seems like he transformed into what the Namekian Book of Legend would call a Super Saiyan. Goku would walk over toward Frieza, as Frieza would punch him in the gut, but not even an inch, not even a single inch would be given, and Frieza's hand would shatter. Goku would grab him, and Goku would blast him to absolute smithereens, obliterating the tyrant as he looks at everything around, and he looks as someone else is actually floating above. It's Frieza's, huh? He's confused, but rage and anger, the idea that his father figure is practically dead, but at the same time it isn't. He isn't. It's confusing his mind in a way, but still he would float up and he would see one by the name of King Cold. King Cold would begin to bargain his life, saying that he'll give him anything he wants. He'll do this, he'll do that. He'll give him power, money, fame, whatever he needs. But Goku would need none of it. Goku does not want any of it. And he would blast a hole through King Cold, killing him. And King Cold would regret watching his son perish, because maybe the two of them together could have put an end to this fight sooner rather than later. King Cold's body would fall, and Namek would be saved. And Goku could feel something in the distance. Grand Elder Guru passes away because of the carnage and the stress altogether. But Goku did his job. He saved Planet Namek. He is the Namekian savior. But soon he'll realize that being the Namekian savior isn't enough. That it's far more than just saving the ones that he loves, far more than saving his adopted race. He'll soon realize that there are more powerful foes out there, and it not only will take the might of himself, but the might of every single Namekian on that planet to win, to live, and to come out victorious. But that is for the next part of What If Goku Was Half Namekian. If you enjoyed, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. I am the Golden Emperor. I know I didn't really introduce anything in the very beginning. Now that we're at the end, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know it's a little different. This is going to be a 3-part series, I think. I would personally like to keep these stories, if they're not one-shots, I want them to keep them like 3-4 parts. Like max, I'll go 6 if it's a really long story. But I like the shorter parts. I like the shorter stories, me personally. This is the plan. You'll see part 1, part 2, part 3. You'll see the full story. Maybe you'll see something in between. I'm going to be uploading Monday, Thursday for the next 2 weeks. Just for now, and then I think I'll try to go back to 3 vids a week. I want to try to upload on this consistently as much as possible. I know I promised 1 vid, so I'm getting another vid to y'all. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying my best. I really like the content that I'm making. I hope you guys are as well. I know it's probably a little different than some of the other creators out there, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.